Hi, Dave Kubilka here with another exciting episode of The Cosmic Conundrum, or How to Graph Data Using Microsoft Excel. So, in our last episode, we made a graph. It looks like this. There it is. Now, we want to clean it up. We want to format it so it looks good. So let's go through those steps. First thing I'm going to do is move it, however. So we can put this graph anywhere we want in the Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. We can drag it around like this. We can resize it, make it bigger, or shrink it down, or do different things like this. But to get it on a page all by itself, we click Move Chart. So this Move Chart command is under Chart Tools. So wherever you're at, maybe you're in Page Layout or Formulas or Data or something like that. If you click Chart Tools, this green tab, it gives you a bunch of things, options of things to do just on that chart. To make it easier for us to see, I'm going to move this chart though. So I'll click Move Chart and I'm going to move it to a new sheet. And I'm going to name that sheet what the name of the graph is going to be, which is temperature versus elevation. There we go. Click Move. And there it is. It's under a tab. So there's these different tabs. There's a raw data, and there's some other data over here. CLC raw data. That's where we were working, and now we got a tab just with the chart in it. So take a look at this graph, and one thing about it is it's laid out in kind of a strange way in that the vertical axis, the up and down axis, crosses the horizontal axis in kind of a strange spot, like in the middle of the graph. How often do you see graphs like that? Not too often. I don't see them too often. So what we want to do is move that axis over to the side. The way to do that, under Chart Tools, click Chart Tools, click Layout, and we got choices for axes and grid lines and legend and data labels and all this. Click Axes. And we want to talk to the primary, I think, vertical axis. Let's try that. Primary vertical axis. Nope, I think we want the primary horizontal axis. Let's see. Primary horizontal axis. And if you look here, you see a bunch of choices of different things we can do. We can, change the numbers, change the way the numbers are split up and different things like this. The intervals where you'll see another number. And we can also change where the axes cross. So under this part down here where it says a vertical axis crosses, it's set to be automatic. We don't like the automatic part. We want to change where the vertical axis crosses. And we want the vertical axis to cross all the way at the left. Well, that number all the way at the left on the horizontal axis is negative 20. So I'm going to type in negative 20 there. See what happens. Type in negative 20. Click Close. Boom, it moved. There. Look at how that cleaned that up right there. Now, what else do we want to change about this? Well, what about the title of the graph? This is not a graph of elevation. It's a graph of temperature versus elevation. So I want to change that. I can just click on that. It will make that box editable. And oops. There, now I should be able to edit it. Temperature versus elevation. Not elevations. Temperature versus elevation. Done. This part over here is called the legend, and if we had more than one kind of line on this graph, more than one set of data, we'd want to be able to distinguish between the different sets of data, but we don't. This is a graph of just one set of data, so we don't really need a legend like this. I'm going to eliminate that. It'll just help clean it up. And when I do, highlight that area, click the delete button, it's gone, and now that extends the graph out. It stretches it out, makes it look even better yet. Another thing about this graph is that the axes have no labels. This is 0 and 5,000 and 10,000. What? This is negative 20, negative 15, negative 10. What? So let's add some information. Let's label the axes. So under axis titles, I'll click horizontal axis, and I want the title below the axis. So that is temperature. These numbers represent, goes again, temperature, and in parentheses, degrees Celsius. Temperature in degrees Celsius, right? Same thing with the vertical axis. So design, layout, axis titles, horizontal title. I'm going to go to rotated title. And we're going to call this elevation in meters. And done. Okay, how's that look? That's cleaned up. Looks pretty good. Everything's labeled. You can look at a graph like that and know exactly what it is you're looking at, and put it to use. You can copy it and paste it and put it on a paper. So the next part we're going to look at when we get together is how to transfer this onto a Word page or something like that. So this is Dave Kabilka. Thanks for listening, and I will see you on the computer.